Hey everybody, welcome back to another craft break. My name is Emma Panuski, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a really simple and fun tutorial on how to, first of all, wood burn, and also how to add some acrylic paint to your wood burning projects. So I want to start off by saying that wood burning is a huge trend, especially for fall and winter coming up. Whenever I'm looking at my Pinterest page to see trendy new crafting ideas for those seasons, I always see some really beautiful rustic wood burning projects. So we thought it'd be a really good idea to give you guys a really easy demo on how to get started with wood burning, and then of course how to add some acrylic paint to it to give it some liveliness and color. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this really sweet little panel. I'm going to walk you step by step on how to exactly do this. And I'm also going to talk through what you'll want to have when you start wood burning. So of course, you'll want your wood burning tool, and there is a lot of options for you to choose from. So this is our basic wood burning tool. Of course, it comes with the tool. It has an on-off switch so you know if your wood burner is going to be hot or not. It has a stand, so if you guys, I don't know if you can see it, but probably when we go to overhead you'll be able to see it. But it has a stand so that you don't burn your work surface, so that you can keep it upright. It has it has 4 points and 2 tips. And as you can see, it heats up to 750 degrees. So this is definitely an adult craft, not good for little hands, but it's just really amazing, all of the incredible, beautiful works of art that you can make with our wood burning tool. So this is the basic set. It is really great for people that are dipping their toes into wood burning. They want to test it out. They want to make some beautiful one-time projects. This is a really, really great option for you. And then maybe you've already picked up our decorative wood burning tool and you want to see a little bit more of what a wood burning tool has to offer. We have for you our decorative wood burning set. So very similar to the previous wood burning tool, but it actually has a silicone heat grip on it to kind of protect your hands if you're using your wood burner for a really extended period of time, so that your hands don't get too hot and you don't have to keep taking breaks and turn your wood burner off. So I love that. It also has a temperature control gauge, and that's just for you to have a little bit more control over the temperature that of course your wood burner is giving out. So I love that. Again, it comes with that stand, which is really important to have. It comes with 5 wood burning tips, 1 knife tip, which is like a hot knife, obviously, really great for cutting through things like plastic, styrofoam, foam pumpkins. Our hot knife is a really great asset for that. 1 transfer tip, which you can actually transfer images with, which is amazing. 3 design stamps, and then a soldering tip. So if you have already dipped your toes in wood burning and you decide that you love it, this is a really great kit for you. And it also has a little plastic box that you can keep all of your items from your kit inside so that they don't get lost, which is really great as well. So those are some really great tools for you to choose from when you get started with wood burning. But I want to share with you guys today how I like to wood burn. Some of the extra supplies that I've found over the years comes in handy whenever you are wood burning. But Plaid has a lot of really great wood surfaces for you to choose from to coincide with your wood burner. So we released actually a lot of really great wood surfaces this year. This is one of them. So this is our project that we'll be making today. It's a really sweet and sturdy little wood panel here. But we have lots of really, really great wood surfaces for you to choose from if you go to plaidonline.com. So I'll show you guys a blank version of that.
Emma, we have a comment on our YouTube stream.
Oh, great.
Someone said they just bought a wood burning tool, and so this live is like perfect timing.
Oh, good, awesome. Well, I'll teach you how to use it today. That's great. Okay, so this is what it looks like blank. So this is the before and after. Ta-da! So as you can see, it's made by Plaid. You can find it on plaidonline.com, of course. But I'm going to walk you guys through how to turn this into that. So a couple things that I like to have around me whenever I'm wood burning. First of all, I always like to have a clamp, just a simple clamp that looks just like this. And I go ahead and I clamp my wire or my wood burning cord to my table so that your wood burner doesn't fall into your lap, so that you have a lot more control if your wood burner were to get knocked off your table. It's just a great safety thing to think about. I also like to have a scrap piece of wood. This is for me to test out the size of maybe the tip that I'm using or the color that it's going to leave. And that's letting me know how hot my wood burner is. So I always like to just give a quick little test on my spare block of wood. So I keep this with my wood burner too. And then lastly, a pair of pliers. So if you want to switch tips while your wood burner is super, super hot, this comes in handy. You can just use your pliers to unscrew the tip from the base of your wood burner, go ahead and screw on a different tip, wait for that to heat up just a second or two, and then you're good to go. So pliers are a really great thing to have in your tool bag as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I actually freehanded this little pattern that I used for my wood burning project today. So if you've never transferred a pattern before, I'm just going to quickly show you guys the basics of how to do that. So this is transfer paper, so you want to make sure that the transfer side is down on your surface. And a lot of times your transfer paper will say something like this side up, or something like that to give you context. But if you're not sure, you can always take a pencil and just mark a little spot to make sure that you're sticking it to the right side. Get my painter's tape, and I'm going to go ahead and secure this to my surface. And then one more piece down here. And that should be good. So now we want to make sure that our pattern is lining up exactly where you can see I cut it out exactly to the shape of my surface today. So I'm just kind of feeling around, making sure that it's in the right spot. But of course you could always cut your transfer paper down to the exact size of your surface as well, just to give you a little bit more clarity if you need that. Smooth it out a little bit. Now for the fun part. So we're going to go over every single line that we're seeing in our pattern with a sharp tip. So you can use like a stylus or any really type of sharp tip, a pen, a pencil. But when I have black lines like this that I'm tracing over, I like to use a pencil. In that way, if I'm unsure of if I've already gone over a line or not, I have that difference between the harsh black line of my pattern and my graphite color pencil mark. Let me know if my head gets in the way, Stephen.
You're good so far. I'll let you know.
I'm notorious for sticking my head in the camera. Ooh. But the reason I chose little mountainscape for our project today is because I feel like there's something so entwined with nature when you're wood burning. You're really keeping the integrity of beautiful wood and letting that be the focus of your art. So I, a lot of times find myself whenever I do wood burning projects, a lot of times they're nature themed, whether that's planned or not, just because that's where my heart goes, I guess. Okay, so I'm not going to do all these little lines because I feel like I have a good sense of where they are and I'll be able to freehand it. But I will say, if you, whether you're transferring a pattern or you're just freehanding it, I would give you the advice to at least sketch out whatever you're planning on wood burning on your surface beforehand, instead of just going rogue with your wood burner. Even if you are a really good drawer, Sometimes with wood burning, it just feels a little bit different when you're doing it. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and take a pencil and sketch out your design before you bring the wood burner into it.
Emma, do you think you could hold that up to the
Yes.
camera so we can see the lines?
Yes. So they're a little bit tricky to see on camera, but they're really clear from my point of view. So you guys will definitely be able to see those lines better once we start using the wood burner. Okay, so now for the fun part. I think I said that when we started transferring, but obviously this is the fun part.
It could all be the fun part.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take my wood burning tool. Again, you see this is the stand that it comes with. A little metal stand to just protect your work surface. And you see I'm using the deluxe wood burning kit today. So I have my heat grip right here, and I'll show you guys, this is that temperature gauge, which really comes in handy. So I'm going to take my scrap piece of wood, and we are burning. So I like to do that, like I said in the beginning, just to test out the color, the width, all of the different things that I know to expect before I actually take my wood burner to my project. So the fun thing about wood burning is that you can really start wherever. So I'm just gonna pick the center and go out from there. And I'm not digging in, I'm actually, holding my tool pretty lightly. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure to get a nice, strong design with this. And of course, the more pressure you do apply to your surface, the deeper your wood graining print that you leave will be, if that makes sense. So if I'm applying a really light amount of pressure, like if you were to slide your hand across your surface, you wouldn't feel any indentation at all. But if you apply a little bit more pressure, you're actually sinking that burner into the wood, which of course is going to leave a little bit of an indent. So that's another good thing to know. I'm going to focus on my star lines here. And I'm just moving down. And you see, we're doing it in real time. It's really, really quick and easy to do. And so this is kind of like a medium-sized point that I'm using right now. But if you wanted to get a thinner line, you can use a thinner point. If you wanted to get a thicker line, you could obviously use a thicker point. That's really where those pliers come in handy if you're looking to achieve a more advanced look with different widths and that kind of thing in your pattern. Then you'll want to have those pliers ready. Okay, I'll do a couple more lines for you guys.
Emma, we have a lot of folks saying they're looking forward to trying this and that they'd love to do it.
Oh, good. Yes, it is so much fun, you guys. It's really one of those relaxing activities.
It kind of makes your house smell good too.
Yes, it definitely makes your house smell like very lightly like a campfire,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
So that's another, I'm glad you actually said that, Stephen. So another important thing to remember is that you do want to use your wood burner only on raw wood. If your wood has been sealed, you don't want to use it for the wood burner, because obviously when you're wood burning over your sealed wood surface, you're going to be releasing those fumes of whatever sealer is sealing that wood. So you definitely want to make sure that you are using a raw wood surface. And since we're talking about surfaces, so obviously wood burning is perfect for wood. That's kind of how we made it. But it is also really fabulous at burning leather and cork. So we actually have some really amazing projects that you can take a peek at on plaidonline.com to show you guys and give you inspiration on what kind of decor items you can use with our wood burner with leather and cork surfaces. And it's, you know, burning those two different substrates is just as easy as burning wood. And you can see I'm just like twisting my surface every which way to make it easier for me. That's something I do when I paint too though, so. So another great thing to know is that when you're using our wood burning tool, there will be periods where you feel like the wood burner is not running through the wood as smoothly as it did in the beginning. And that just means that your wood burning tip is losing a little bit of heat. Because when you kind of think about it in a sciencey way, you're offloading a lot of that heat onto the wood. So all of those, you know, that heat energy is coming from your wood burner and clinging to the wood. So that means that your wood burning tip is getting a lot cooler. So your wood burning isn't going to go as quickly as before. So all you have to do to remedy that is to just set your wood burner down on your little metal stand that you get with the tool and like wait 60 seconds for it to heat up again, and then you'll be flying through it like you did in the beginning. Okay, so I definitely wanted to show you guys the wood burner in action. So you can see we already made all those lines so quickly. But I have a step out to show you guys of that pattern completely wood burned. I'm going to be done wood burning now, so I'm going to turn my wood burner off with my temperature gauge here. And you hear that click, that's how you know it's off. Set this aside. And now I'm going to show you guys how I like to add paint to my wood burning projects. So I'm using Folk Art acrylic matte paint today. And something that I really like to do with wood burning projects, and you can kind of see it in the finished one here, is that I like to add a little bit of water to my paint to get a really beautiful natural stained look. And you totally do not have to do that, but if you do enjoy that really beautiful rustic natural look that a lot of wood burning projects tend to have, then adding a little bit of water to your paint is definitely going to help you achieve that. So I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. I'm going to take my Folk Art light blue and put a little dab on my plate here. I'm going to grab like a medium-sized flat brush. I have a clean glass of water. Dip it in my water and start introducing a lot of that water to my paint. Okay, and so I'm going to fill in this space here, and I'm going to carefully go just right up to those wood burning lines. Another great tip to know at home is that I have found that when you're painting on wood burning projects like this, when you're using a darker color of paint, it doesn't really matter that much if you get some of the paint into those wood burning lines. It won't cover it because they're both such dark pigments. It'll just kind of, you know, fade into the wood burning lines. But if you're using a lighter color of paint like I am right now, this light blue, if I were to get it over my wood burned lines, it could actually cover some of those wood burn lines. And I don't want you to worry about that and think that if that happens to you, it's totally ruined. Once that paint is dry, you could absolutely go over those lines again with your wood burner, but you know, it's a little bit of a pain. So that's a good thing to know when you're working with light paint. You just want to carefully avoid those wood burning lines. So if I were to, you know, get in an area like this that has a lot more burned lines in it, I would definitely take a smaller brush and carefully try to avoid those wood burning lines. And I guess I should say too, the reason that the lighter colors tend to cover up our wood burning lines is because a lot of times lighter pigments of paint have a lot of white in them, and that white is what we're going to find to be covering up those wood burning lines, as opposed to a dark blue or a navy or a dark gray. They don't really have much white in them at all, so we don't run the risk of potentially covering up those wood burning lines, if that makes sense. Okay, so I want you guys to see in our finished project right here, we have a lot of it looks like a faux stain almost, and we did that just with regular folk art acrylic paint too. So if you want to add, like we've been talking about, some really beautiful rustic kind of farmhouse inspired elements to your wood burning project, you can get that really beautiful stained wood look with just regular acrylic paint. So I want to show you guys how I did that. It's the same way that we did our paint just now. So you can see, I'll hold it up. See how you can see some of that wood grain coming through, and I just think it looks so beautiful. A lot of that paint isn't dry yet, and when it does dry, you'll be able to see it a lot more clearly, but okay, so I'm using the color Nutmeg. It's a beautiful medium brown color. Again, I'm going to dip my brush right into my paint here, really wetting that paint. And I will say, I'm just reusing the same water that I did for my light blue because it's such a light color, it's not really affecting the color of my water yet. But once you start to involve more colors into your projects, you'll definitely want to refresh that water and make sure it's nice and clean. Okay, so we're looking for like a milky consistency when we mix our paint and our water together. Now I'm going to go up and I'm just going to carefully again going up to all those wood burned lines, but you guys can see I'm just going right over some of these wood burning lines, and it's going to turn out just fine because I'll show you what we're going to do in the end. But I'm just giving it a really rough coat, a little bit more water in here. Ooh. Make sure we get the handle. And of course, I would get the sides as well, but for time's sake, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so once your project looks like this, I'm going to take a clean paper towel. You could take a rag, whatever you like to use. My clean paper towel here, and moving away from the rest of my project, I'm going to get right to the edge there, moving away, wiping some of that paint off. So getting to the edge, moving away from the rest of my project with my dry, clean paper towel, removing some of that watered down paint. And then you really get a beautiful faux stain. You can see all of that beautiful wood grain there. You can see obviously that it doesn't really affect these wood burned parts right here. It's because, like we talked about a minute ago, it's because that nutmeg brown doesn't have much white in it. So we can go right over those wood burned lines and it doesn't affect our project at all. I kind of would even stop here. This is really pretty, just that blue and that brown. But yeah, do we have any questions, Stephen, before we close it out? I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over.
Yeah, you did a good job. I think we're good.
Okay, awesome. So again, you guys, if you're interested in any of our wood burning products or tools, that's not even it. We have a lot of really great wood burning accessories to take your hobby even further. So if that interests you, make sure to go to plattonline.com, check out all of our wood burning tools and accessories and some of our wood surfaces. They're really great, so go take a peek right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.